Farsight coin. Most people would never pause for a second if they spotted a 2008 United States presidential $1 coin featuring James Monroe resting in a cash register or mixed into a handful of loose change. Its golden appearance blends in with countless other dollar coins that quietly circulate unnoticed, creating the illusion that every example is equally common. Yet hidden beneath that familiar design is a remarkable chapter in modern American coinage that has fascinated collectors ever since the presidential dollar program gained momentum. James Monroe, remembered as the nation's fifth president and the architect of what became known as the Monroe Doctrine, was honored on this coin with a portrait that represents an important period in American history. While millions were struck for circulation, experienced numismatists understand that production numbers alone never tell the entire story. What truly separates ordinary pieces from unforgettable discoveries is the unpredictable journey each coin takes through the minting process, where tiny mechanical variations can transform an everyday dollar into something that commands extraordinary attention years later. During 2008, the United States Mint was producing presidential dollars at an impressive pace to satisfy nationwide demand, with facilities operating under tremendous efficiency. Every blank planchet traveled through multiple stages before becoming a finished coin, including upsetting the rim, receiving precisely aligned strikes, and finally having its edge lettering impressed in a separate operation. That final step became one of the most closely watched parts of the production process because it introduced another opportunity for unusual minting anomalies to appear. The James Monroe dollar carries edge inscriptions including the year, mint mark, and national mottos instead of placing them on the faces of the coin, making this series unlike many earlier American coins. That distinctive manufacturing method created opportunities for fascinating varieties that continue to capture the attention of specialists who carefully inspect every detail under magnification, hoping to uncover something that escaped quality control before entering circulation. Collectors often describe this coin as a reminder that extraordinary stories can hide inside objects everyone else ignores. Imagine someone receiving one in change after buying a cup of coffee, tossing it into a drawer for years, and eventually discovering that subtle differences set it apart from countless ordinary examples. Such stories have fueled countless searches through inherited collections, forgotten piggy banks, old bank rolls, and family keepsake boxes. The excitement comes from knowing that even a tiny difference in strike quality, lettering, or planchet appearance may completely change how specialists evaluate the coin. This blend of history, manufacturing precision, and unexpected rarity has transformed the James Monroe presidential dollar into a favorite target for collectors who appreciate the thrill of discovering overlooked treasures hiding in plain sight. Visual examination is where the real investigation begins because every surface of the coin tells part of its story. Study the portrait carefully and notice whether the strike appears unusually sharp or unexpectedly soft compared with typical examples. Observe the warm golden color of the manganese brass-clad composition, watching for unusual shades that may suggest an off-metal issue or other production anomaly requiring expert evaluation. Look closely at the rim to see whether it appears evenly formed or unusually expanded. Inspect the alignment between the obverse and reverse, and pay special attention to the edge lettering for spacing, clarity, and completeness. Under magnification, doubling in letters or design elements may reveal characteristics worth documenting. Even the overall weight should be checked with a precise digital scale, because unexpected differences can sometimes point toward remarkable minting events that deserve professional examination rather than casual assumptions. Only after careful study does the conversation naturally turn toward value, because rarity always outweighs simple age. Most James Monroe dollars trade for modest collector premiums, but exceptional pieces with noteworthy characteristics have occasionally produced astonishing auction or private sale results. Certain notable examples displaying impressive preservation or recognized minting anomalies have reportedly reached between $5,000 and $7,000, reminding collectors that careful inspection can sometimes uncover opportunities hidden among ordinary-looking coins. These outcomes are not promises of future value, but documented examples of what determined collectors have been willing to pay when authenticity, rarity, and condition align in remarkable ways. The excitement rises even further when genuine mint errors enter the picture. Specialists continue searching for dramatic edge lettering mistakes, significant strike abnormalities, unusual dilated varieties, and other manufacturing defects that separate a coin from standard production. Higher-grade error coins have reportedly achieved around $8,000 in auction settings, while especially strong mint-state examples with exceptional eye appeal have realized approximately $8,200 in competitive sales. Coins displaying unusual mistakes that received expert authentication have also been associated with private transactions approaching $8,700, illustrating how different forms of rarity can influence collector demand in surprising ways. The rarest discoveries occupy an entirely different category because they combine multiple desirable characteristics that almost never appear together. Extreme mint errors involving dramatic production failures have reportedly brought around $9,000 when certified and offered to enthusiastic collectors seeking unusual presidential dollars. Even more astonishing are isolated examples with extraordinary combinations of rarity, preservation, and unmistakable minting anomalies that have been connected with auction or private sale outcomes approaching $10,000. Among the most celebrated discoveries are exceptionally rare error examples that have reached approximately $35,000, demonstrating how an object that once carried only a $1 face value can evolve into a centerpiece of an advanced collection through an extraordinary chain of manufacturing events. For that reason, every 2008 James Monroe presidential dollar deserves a thoughtful examination before anyone dismisses it as ordinary pocket change. Check its weight using an accurate scale, compare the metal color against normal examples, inspect the strike alignment from both sides, examine the rim for unusual expansion, and carefully search for any signs of letter doubling or other irregularities that distinguish it from standard coins. Resist the temptation to clean the surface or accept the first offer that comes along if something appears unusual, because even minor alterations can reduce collector interest. Instead, preserve the coin exactly as it was found and seek professional authentication from a respected grading service, allowing trained experts to determine whether an overlooked presidential dollar has quietly been waiting for years to reveal an extraordinary story hidden in plain sight. Second coin, the 2000-piece Sacagawea dollar from the United States Mint, is one of those coins that many Americans have handled without a second thought, slipping through cash registers, vending machines, desk drawers, and forgotten piggy banks, while quietly carrying one of the most fascinating beginnings of any modern U.S. dollar. Introduced to replace the Susan B. Anthony dollar, this golden-colored coin was created to encourage everyday use, yet its journey became far more complicated than anyone expected. Its warm golden appearance came from a carefully engineered manganese brass alloy wrapped around a pure copper core, giving it a distinctive look unlike traditional silver-colored dollars. Featuring Sacagawea carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on the obverse and a soaring eagle on the reverse, the design represented exploration, courage, and the spirit of a growing nation. Millions entered circulation, but almost immediately collectors realized that not every example leaving the Philadelphia Mint was exactly the same, and that tiny differences invisible to most people could someday become the reason one ordinary-looking coin attracted extraordinary attention. Behind every coin lies a production story, and the Philadelphia Mint faced enormous pressure as it prepared to launch this brand new dollar into circulation at the dawn of a new millennium. Massive numbers of planchets had to be prepared, polished, struck, inspected, and distributed at remarkable speed. Whenever production reaches that level of intensity, unexpected imperfections can emerge despite rigorous quality control. The first year of any major coin series often becomes the most closely studied because it captures the learning curve of an entirely new manufacturing process. Collectors have spent decades examining these early Sacagawea dollars under magnification, comparing tiny differences in lettering, surfaces, rims, and strike quality. What appears identical to one person may reveal subtle characteristics to another, and that mystery has transformed countless ordinary collections into ongoing treasure hunts, where every coin deserves a closer look before being dismissed. The visual details of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar reward patient observation. The portrait should display smooth flowing hair, delicate facial features, and carefully sculpted folds in the clothing, while the eagle on the reverse should exhibit crisp feather detail and balanced wing definition. On especially well-struck examples, even the smallest lines appear sharp and vibrant under proper lighting. Some coins reveal stronger luster with brilliant cartwheel reflections, while others appear softer because of circulation or handling over many years. Collectors often compare the color, checking whether the golden surface remains consistent or whether unusual tunning, discoloration, or planchet irregularities suggest something worth further investigation. Even the rim deserves careful attention because slight expansion, uneven borders, or off-center characteristics may point toward unusual minting events that separate one coin from thousands of others produced on the same day. As interest in modern errors grew, specialists discovered that certain Philadelphia Mint Sacagawea dollars displayed striking abnormalities ranging from doubled lettering and misaligned strikes to broad strikes, clipped planchets, partial collar errors, and dramatic off-center impressions. Most production imperfections carry little premium, but authentic and significant mint errors can generate remarkable collector excitement because they represent accidental moments in the manufacturing process that escape detection before entering circulation. Experienced numismatists never rely on a single unusual feature alone. Instead, they examine strike alignment, edge formation, surface texture, weight, metallic composition, and die characteristics together before reaching conclusions. This careful approach has prevented countless mistakes while also uncovering genuine rarities that had remained unnoticed for years inside inherited collections, forgotten coin jars, and ordinary bank rolls. Stories surrounding this coin have become almost as captivating as the coin itself. Families sorting through old change have occasionally discovered unusual Sacagawea dollars that initially seemed no different from countless others, until an experienced collector noticed something extraordinary hiding in plain sight. Some people spent these coins unknowingly, while others tucked them away simply because they liked the golden color without realizing they possessed an uncommon variety. There are accounts of collectors revisiting albums years later only to recognize details they had overlooked the first time. These moments remind everyone that knowledge often creates opportunity, and that patience, curiosity, and careful examination frequently matter more than luck when searching for coins that stand apart from the millions struck during the first year of the series. Only after rarity, condition, and authenticity are confirmed does serious value enter the conversation. Most 2000p Sacagawea dollars remain worth only face value or modest collector premiums, but exceptional examples have followed a dramatically different path. Certain notable coins with verified mint characteristics have achieved auction or private sale results between $5,000 and $7,000, while particularly impressive mint-state specimens with outstanding preservation have reached approximately $8,200. Coins displaying unusual authenticated mint mistakes have realized around $8,700, and examples featuring higher-grade certified errors have approached $8,000 depending on rarity, eye appeal, and collector demand. These figures represent documented market outcomes for exceptional coins rather than promises that any individual piece will command similar prices. The most dramatic discoveries belong to an even smaller group that fascinates advanced collectors. Verified extreme mint errors with spectacular production anomalies have reached approximately $9,000 in competitive sales, while especially rare authenticated error examples have climbed as high as $35,000 when collectors fiercely competed for ownership. In extraordinary situations involving unique or nearly one-of-a-kind discoveries supported by respected grading services and strong provenance, private transactions or major auctions have approached $10. Zero or even inspired intense bidding because collectors recognized they might never encounter another identical specimen. These remarkable prices were driven by rarity, certification, condition, and sustained collector demand, proving that modern coins can sometimes surprise even seasoned experts when an exceptional example finally emerges. Before imagining extraordinary value, every owner should examine a 2000-piece Sacagawea dollar methodically and objectively. Begin by confirming the proper weight using a precise digital scale, then study the metal color under natural light. Inspect strike alignment from edge to edge. Evaluate whether the rim appears evenly formed or unusually expanded, and carefully search for genuine letter doubling instead of damage caused by circulation. A quality magnifier can reveal details invisible to the naked eye, but even experienced collectors avoid making final judgments without professional assistance. If a coin appears unusually sharp, dramatically misstruck, or significantly different from ordinary examples, the wisest decision is to seek authentication from a respected third-party grading service before considering any sale, because an informed evaluation can mean the difference between overlooking an important modern rarity and properly recognizing a remarkable survivor from the Philadelphia Mint's historic first year of Sacagawea dollar production.